If you have any questions that you can't understand in all that complicated writing, I know you're highly intelligent. But if you have any questions, I'll be right here because I have a simpler way of answering things than through those complicated documents. So today is October 1st, 2021. The board, 2 DLC presidents have asked. Teresa asked in person, Teresa Taylor. She asked some very crucial questions about financial spending in our union. DLC President 794 Francina Stevenson has also asked to come. This is fantastic. And, oh, okay. Yeah, the last in expenditures. Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah, okay.
It should be the same.
Okay.
It's just Francina's.
Oh, no worries. Oh, okay. And I thought Bill was going to come with you.
Bill
DLC
is
president?
busy.
Oh, okay.
Had a previous
Okay.
engagement, unfortunately.
Okay. And I'm glad we were able to make it happen really soon. Thanks, Ann, for setting it up so quickly. So we, Local 1000, we're going to be transparent. And I know a lot of people have questions about the finances, not just about the last 90 days, but going all the way back to 2008. So I have a feeling that more people, and not just DLC presidents or bunk chairs that sit on the board, I have a funny feeling more people are going to, at least you did it respectfully, Teresa, because I know words and actions matter, but I have a funny feeling more people are just going to demand certain things from me. So
I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yeah. And I was kind of going on a rant about Tim Draper before you got here. But that Lassen rally, because we're trying to protect jobs for our represented employees up there in Lassen at CCC, was very important.
Are you live streaming this?
Yeah, I sure am. I sure am.
I really don't feel comfortable.
Well, I know, but this is on me, not on you. And so we've accommodated you. And so I ran on
So
the...
is it pointing this
No,
way?
it's not.
All right,
So
thank you.
the camera's on me. Everyone knows that the camera's on me. And I ran on a transparent platform. I ran from 2015.
I'm
And-
sorry. You know, I'm trying to concentrate on doing
Yeah,
this.
and I'm trying to concentrate on
I'm
this
not
too.
trying to be rude,
Right.
Mr. Brown.
Right. All right,
But
so I'm going
when
to talk a
you're
little
talking-
softer. No, listen to this. This is live. And here's the great thing about going live. They wanted to look at these documents.
Okay.
Now, I have most of these answers in my head. But I want to go live for you. They wanted transparency, but I'm giving that extra transparency to you. We'll be here for about 2 hours. I would highly suggest everyone stay on. I really would. This is going to be a fun, fantastic Friday. Here, I'll even say these questions out loud for you. Number 1, documents documenting or relating to all expenditures for Lassen CCC rally. This should include the cost of the chartered bus, the cost of the fee or permit to reserve the Capitol grounds, food and swag costs, management salary costs, their attendance, and any cost for staff attendance to reimburse them for the time. Now, that rally happened on August 27th. At the rally, it was about protecting jobs while under a signed contract. Many of you believe that I called the police on people at the rally. Let me dispel that lie right now on October 1st, 2021. I never called the police on anyone. Many people believe that I was supporting Larry Elder at the rally. That's a lie. The speakers at the rally, I believe one person had a Larry Elder shirt on, and he said some comments, and I got behind him and said, hey, Local 1000 on June 2nd, 2021, gave $1 million to SIU State Council to help our current governor beat his recall. And it worked. He beat the recall. And he took the official position on June 2nd to oppose the recall. When I took office on June 30th, I've never opposed the recall. But people on Facebook will tell you that I did. That's a lie. And that's why we're being transparent today. And they're looking through these documents. And they're getting answers. But we're going to dispel these lies today.
So, what I would suggest, I'm doing the rally stuff. If you want to dig further in for the other stuff,
Sure.
that's
Okay.
requested.
Okay. Where would
Yeah.
you like me to start from?
So, this idea
United.
Let me see, hold on.
that I
United.
called the police.
United.
Let's talk about that police situation before we get to the next
I'm looking
question.
right now. This looks to all
They're
be
telling you
part
on
of the
Facebook that I
rally.
called the police on August 27th at the rally.
Yeah, it's pretty much the
So right here.
But you know I didn't do that. But what you do know is the cops came to my house on May 25th at 5 o'clock in the morning.
It should be
that
the
you
same
do know.
packet. Did you start
And we're going to
with
research that
Yes.
Okay, so I think.
because someone made a false call against me. So when they told you I called the police on people at the rally on August 27th, when you know I'm for freedom to speak your mind, I'm against censorship, I'm for your ability to choose what you do with your bodies, but yet they tell you I've called the police on August 27th. That's a lie. But the police were at my house on May 25th at 5 o'clock in the morning because supposedly a woman was screaming in my house. That was a lie. That's a lie. And they tell you that, with the rally that I was part of the Freedom Foundation or I'm working with the Freedom Foundation. That's a lie. I'm not working with the Freedom Foundation. Have I interviewed people? Have I been interviewed by people who may have been, quote, had friendly ties with the Freedom Foundation? Possibly. But I'm always pro-labor. Okay? Now, we're going to go back to this financial information. They're here looking at financial information. There has been no misspending of money since I've taken office. But see, we're going to go way back in the past, too, down the road. It's coming. People were upset because any amount of money was used to protect the jobs of people in our union. That's what they're upset about. And so they're looking. Now they're going to the next question. I'm going to the next question. Documents recording, documenting, or relating to all expenditures for the union leave paid to members and stewards who attended the rally. Separated out as union leave for members. Union leave for stewards. Well, in order to have union leave, you have to be, quote,
This is 2019.
a steward. So,
Let me see that.
they're going through the documents. That was question 2. And then they asked question 3, documents recording, documenting, relating to any other costs associated with hosting the last NCCC rally.
Yeah, it's just other additional documents.
And so when they ask these types of questions, what they're saying is,
That's what we're asking for.
I know it's not what we're asking. for.
we do not approve of the money you spent for the Lassen rally. That's what they're basically saying. Now, people have asked, well, how much money was spent back in 2019 for that rally in the summer
Can I
to get a
ask a
quality
question?
contract? Yes, yes.
Are you taking my photo?
No,
Okay, good.
no, it's really good.
Can I ask a question, Ann? I noticed there's some stuff being mixed in. Was this your intent?
Because that's not what we asked for there. The
Well, what-
union leave for the officers for the last 120.
So are you
For the
are you
last
still
one,
zo-
we gave you the union leave.
I
Yeah.
think that was it. Hold on.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
union leave.
2019.
No, it has to be 2020. Look all the way through it.
Oh, even if it is 2020,
Yeah.
the past 120 days does not amount to.
You know what? She asked a great question. Now, here's the funny thing about when you start digging into documents. She's talking about the last 120. Yes, she is talking about the last 120 days for
March
union
1st,
leave.
2021 to September 1st, 2020.
Yeah.
So that's what we're
Yeah.
requesting. This
So
is
here's the great
19.
thing about what she just said about them asking for union leave for the last 120 days. Our former president, Yvonne Walker, on December 14th, 2020, approved leave 6 months worth. So if you take your
It's
time,
really
ma'am.
hard to concentrate. Can you
But you know what's funny?
Achieve it?
Okay, but here's the great thing about this. I told you I was ready today, and I'm giving you the information. All they gotta do is ask me. I'm sitting right here, but they'd rather ask the attorneys. Okay, keep talking to the attorneys.
Let me ask, who
So-
provided the documents for us?
Our-
Did you?
The chief financial officer put
But
this
these
back
are
together.
120 days. This is
Check this out.
2020.
Check this out, Francina. Listen to this. Yvonne Walker on December 14th, 2020 approved leave for 6 months. Okay?
I don't think you have the non-disclosure
No, I do.
sign.
I've already signed.
Can you see
You
it?
signed off on the same record request that you made.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, good. Thank
So
you.
when she did that 6 months worth,
Sorry, I wasn't trying to challenge you. I just had to be protective.
this is
of
why.
our
This is why I'm
documents.
laughing. This is why I'm laughing. So she did it for 6 months. She did it for 6 months. And if
And
you
up
look,
here, it's Mr. Dean, right? Okay. Up here, you see the date is 20.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I'm just trying to know why it's.
Right, and then if you flip the page, so you can see that the email is also dated November 2020.
I'm just trying to figure out why it's hiding. I figure if they put it in there, it's gonna tie in somehow. Let's see if we can figure it out.
Thank you.
Should we, I mean, I think the question
Mhm.
would be easier answered maybe by the, chief financial officer?
no,
Okay,
no. And here's the thing. I'm telling you this information. That's why I'm like, okay. But this is why we're doing live. Because I don't want them to come out of here and say one thing. That's why we're on live video. I'm protecting myself. So, you know, DOC 786 President Teresa Taylor, she submitted her request. It was answered. Because it's not unreasonable what she's asking for.
Oh, and,
So I think what they did is, so here's what happened, and this was the Tony Owens situation. So there was nothing to pull for Tony Owens because nothing. was
Oh,
given
the
to
Tony
for the
Owens
last
situation.
120 days. So they just pulled, I think this was like the last thing they had for Tony.
Remember when they told
This
you,
is like the latest thing they
Jack,
had.
may I call you Jack?
Sure.
Okay, great,
so
thank you.
when they told you we were
but-
paying Tony Owens, but that was a
But
lie.
it doesn't,
That's a
but
lie.
it doesn't, we asked for certain information.
Right.
For the 120 days for Mr. Owens.
Right.
But this doesn't, I mean.
I didn't put it together, I'm just trying to.
Francina.
speculate on why.
Oh, okay, yeah, the
But Francina,
speculation, yeah.
when
Thank
when
you.
Yvonne pre-approved their union leave on December 14th, 2020,
so can we
She-
get something
That's what?
signed that says there's nothing, from the CFO that says there's nothing paid to?
paid to who?
Tony
Tony Owens? Oh, well,
Last
well, wait,
120
wait.
days.
One quick question. Can we first understand that on December 14th, 2020,
So
Eve-
I'm not
oh, okay.
asking you, I'm sorry, you go ahead and talk.
No, right.
And is that something we can get?
Let's just have this conversation so
Mm-hmm.
Richard can explain.
and I'm saying it live on video. This is why I'm saying this on video. Because I sat here and I said, they're looking for certain things, they're very pinpointed, and they're very accurate in what they're asking for. And what DOC 786 President Teresa Taylor is saying about Tony Owens, this is the other lies on Facebook. And this is why I'm so glad that they're here today. Tony Owens had pre-approved union leave by Yvonne Walker on December 14th, 2020. Now listen to this, because they're trying to go through these documents, but if they would just take their time and hear me out, they would get their answers. Tony Owens had pre-approved union leave. So did Kevin Manager. So did Annika Walls. It was pre-approved on December 14th, 2020. All right? It was pre-approved by the former president. So you say, well, wait a minute. Did he use leave in June? That was pre-approved. He, Tony Owens, did not use any leave in June of 2021. So then you say, well, Richard, you said he was on union leave in July up to the results of the redo of the VP bargaining election, and that results and final approval came on August 13th. Yes, I said he was on union leave,
So write this down,
but he never got paid
because he did get paid.
because we never, quote, submitted union leave paperwork. But I've been telling y'all this all this time. So now they're coming to look, and they say, well, can the CFO state specifically that he wasn't paid. Well, guess what? I have that. I have that. He wasn't paid. Now, here's the key thing. You said, well, Richard, if he was on union leave, but he wasn't really on union leave, you're telling me that CalPERS never submitted a union leave request to being reimbursed? That's exactly what I'm telling you. That's exactly what I'm telling you. So then you say, so you're sure that Tony Owens never received any type of financial payment from Local 1000 since you were sworn in, but you actually took office on June 30th. That's exactly what I'm telling you. And I'm telling you this in front of the attorneys. But you thought I was bluffing. You thought I was lying. You thought I was running from you. I don't run from anybody. I don't run from the fire. I run to the fire. Maybe I learned that from Lansing County. I don't know. Because some people up there, they're rough. Maybe I learned that from St. Louis. You know? But, again, if they would just sit down and have a normal conversation with me, because I know they're writing 100 miles an hour. I keep telling them I got a lot of this information in my head. I may not know everything, but when it comes to that money, I bet you don't beat me. You know, I did go to college, by the way. Oh, you didn't hear that part? Yeah. Really, I did. I have a college degree. He said, wow, that's scary. Yeah. Finance. I said, well, I didn't know all that. Oh, they didn't tell you that? So you mean to tell me when I went to school, paper out of my pocket because I have financial discipline. Sorry to talk so loud. Financial discipline. And I got a finance degree. That they didn't tell you that part on Facebook. So they didn't tell you that part about my financial discipline. That's why I have financial transparency. And they didn't tell you that I served the country through the U.S. Air Force honorably. They didn't tell you that part. Well, did they tell you that I'm a registered Democrat? Oh, they didn't tell you that either? Oh, well, maybe I'm confused. Oh, so wait. You said, well, how can you be a registered Democrat, but you hang out with those folks in Lansing County who are Republicans? Well, maybe because they believe in financial transparency and they're conservative on money, and I am too. And so you said, well, if that's the case, then what's really going on, Richard? You tell me. And you said, well, don't make it no racial matter, Richard. It's not about race. It's not about race. Okay. I don't know. I can't tell. I guess you'll be asking for my birth certificate next, right? Okay, I digress. So anyway, they were asking about the union leave. I'm going to say it again. December 14th, 2020, our former president, Yvonne Walker, doesn't do things at the last second. That's what I kind of do. She doesn't do that. She does things in a well-thought-out, methodical manner. And so she pre-approved 6 months of union leave. Not just for the, oh my God, this just dawned on me. She didn't just pre-approve union leave for the statewide officers, even though they got reduced off their union leave, but she approved union leave for quite a few people. Maybe we should do the record on that. Because a lot of people got pre-approved union leave for a lot of years. Yeah, we'll run a call on that. And we'll see all the names that show up on who would have full-time union leave for extended amounts of time. Should be interesting when that comes out. Oh, yeah. So when they tell you, well, Richard ended union leave. No, I didn't extend union leave. Remember, all the union leave for the bunk chairs and all those other people ended on June 30th, some on July 1st. Remember that part? Oh, you forgot? Okay, that's cool. I'm sorry. I'll calm down. I'm sorry. All right, so all I'm simply trying to say, and that was Teresa being nice to me. So all I'm trying to say, when you start digging, if you say, Richard, we don't like your behavior, you are crazy, you are out of control, well, that's subjective. But here's what I do know. With all my bad behavior, 2,637 people said, put him in office. And let's see how he turns out.
Francine?
Yes.
I'm just being honest. Now, if they ask me these financial questions, you watch me how I give their answers to them. They want to know the cost. They want to know the cost of that Lansing situation. They want to know the cost. So here's what I'm going to do, because I don't want to mess this number up. the cost of the Lassen situation, yeah, I had it memorized. 51.5. That's the cost of the Lassen. Now, to me, it's helping the good people of Lassen County. I told you, Lassen, I had your back. I told you. 51,500. You said, well, that's too much money, Richard. Now, I thought all of our people in our union are very important. That's what I thought. I can guarantee you this, not to get on a side note, but when those DLC presidents call me and tell me how important they are, I know I got to move. I know that. Oh, I know that. Trust me, I know we're a memorandum union. I have to be reminded of that one. So, now look, and not to be on a side note, and I know some of the DLC presidents don't care for me. And I kind of gave them the little nickname, the Hateful Eight. Okay, whatever. But a lot of the presidents are great people on the board, and they are working. And I can't say who the great people are because they're very private individuals, but they're working for their people and their DLCs. And remember our purpose statement? That keyword, all Californians? Isn't that very interesting how our purpose statement says all Californians, but all Californians are not dues-paying members? I'm confused. Uh-oh. I'm confused. Let's talk about the money. Oh, this is the question about all the expenditures for union leave for the statewide officers. So here, let's just be honest. I told you on December 14th, 2020, Yvonne Walker pre-approved union leave. Now they asked what they were asking for earlier, what Francina was saying about the 120 days. So from September 6th, we go back to, I want to say, May 9th? May 9th. Okay, so they had pre-approved union leave up through June. And then I showed up on the scene. Now, you realize, because I'm not lying, that Annika Walls and David Jimenez were approved for full-time union leave for a special project. That's what I did. I didn't lie. And here's the funny thing, that all that campaign talking I did, and that failure on my part to not reduce dues by 50% on day one, that failure that I get reminded on every single day, okay, I failed there. Currently, I have failed there. You don't have to remind me. But when I said that if MTC lost, because how they were treated from the prior president, because the prior president made a decision, the board agreed with her to reduce their union leave, I told you I would not do that. And that they would have full-time union leave. And that's what I did. And so to all the MTC supporters on Facebook, your VPs who are doing, and listen to this, quote me on October 1st, 2021, Annika Walls, the VP of Organizing and Representation, won a second term. She's doing a wonderful job. Oh, yes, she is. And that Secretary Treasurer, David Jimenez, listen to me on this. If you think I'm a little funny on money, you wait till he really shows out. Oh, he's got something coming. You just don't know yet. They're doing a great job, and they're on full-time union leave. Oh, and by the way, to Irene Green, who had, through no fault of her own, Irene Green, the VP of Bargaining, who had to run a second time for no reason. I'm a little upset about that. She won the first time. Let me calm down. Let me regain my composure. Help me out, Fred. Come on, Fred Jr., help me out. Regain my composure.
Stepping out.
Let me regain my composure. Irene Green won that election fair and square. And she had to run a second time. I want her and her slate members to know she also has full-time union leave. Remember the date now. March 9th to September 6th. That's in that time period. Irene Green also has full-time union leave. Therefore, you cannot accuse me, Richard Lewis Brown, on October 1st, 2021, of showing favoritism to Annika and David from MTC without giving that same equal respect to Yvonne Slate, her member, Irene Green. I showed equal love and equal respect to all 3 VPs, they have their credit cards, and they have their full limits. Oh, yes. I know it's not Wednesday night, and I know it's not Sunday morning, and normally on those nights I start preaching. Today it's all about that money. But since you want to talk about that money and about that union leave that your dues paying money pays for, because you pay for our salary plus the 35% retirement when people are on full-time union leave, I want those Jaquitas and Tyrones and those Jacks to know where their money's going. Oh yes, oh yes. Okay, they coming to look. We're gonna talk about it. And here's the funny thing: as fast as they're writing those numbers and stuff, I know they're listening to me. So I talked about the lasting cost of $51.5. Now, here's the other question that they brought up. And you know what? I'm going to give Teresa her utmost. She did a supplement on September 22nd to her request. Now, we could have made her wait 14 days, but our super chief counsel said, no, Richard, we can do it, Richard. We can do it. Okay. Sometimes I wonder who's running the union. All right, so here we go. Oh, boy. Yeah, I remember this. The CalPERS. All right.
I'm sorry.
They're right to ask about the CalPERS.
I'm sorry,
So,
were you getting direction from the bear?
Francina,
no,
pay attention.
no.
Okay.
No. So they're asking these questions about the CalPERS. In a nutshell, they're asking about the whole CalPERS. I'll just call it the CalPERS controversy. Now, they want to know the cost. Let's talk about that cost for CalPERS. Because I don't want to misquote those numbers. They're too important. Now,
So, Ann, I just have a quick question.
okay, so she's asking a question. I'll be quiet for a second.
It looks like Safeway originally was 91.10 for water, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got something here that says, hold on.
The bear's name is Fred G. Jr. That's the bear's name. Who's his father?
9023, is that?
Oh, his
in
father is
addition,
Fred
or was
G.
that
Sr..
on Top of the 91.
Where's his
So
father
it's,
at? Well, his father is working. So, oh, sure, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You did. It looks like you had water 91.10.
On what date?
That was for the rally.
Okay.
It looks like I see some emails here that says it's a hot day, let's not be caught short, which is fine. I'm just trying to figure out what the total amount is. It looks like
So here.
190.23 here,
Uh-huh.
and then there's more water for ice for 58.02. Some of it's to Safeway.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a total, or do you?
I said from the very beginning of the video, 51,500, and
That's fine. I'm just
Right.
writing down
now if you're having
I
a
know I
hard,
work
right.
a franchise.
No,
right?
no. I know that. So, I tried to get our CFO to lay this out in an easy to read fashion. He is new. He was hired in June, our CFO.
Right.
Unfortunately, and I'm not trying to sound mean to him, smart people think at another level. And so the way he lays this out, I said, we're giving them 2 hours. He laid it out off the system. That system that we have, in my personal opinion, is not super clear. So this is why I said from the very beginning of the video, if you ask me, I can tell you.
So
Then if you say,
so
well,
the basic answer is
51,500.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I'm in the specifics right
Mhm.
now.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to figure out.
Mhm.
There's a whole bunch of different receipts for water, and I'm just gonna add them all together if we don't know. I've got 91.10, 127.99, 190.23, 58.02, and 153.43. So I'm just gonna assume that's everything and add it together.
Okay. And no, that's fine. I would keep going through it because the way he laid it out, it's
Well, yeah, you laid it out in order of each
okay. Fair
order.
enough. Fair enough.
Is
I'll back
what it
up
looks like. I just want to make sure that
I'll back
it's
up.
not
because
there's not a total amount
uh-huh.
that I'm seeing in here There's a bigger amount than everything else, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm not double counting
Right.
water.
And so what was told to me off the documents, where there was 51,500 off the Lassen, and then the important part of what I asked for, I wanted to know how much all that swag cost. And I was informed the swag didn't cost us not one dime because we used prior swag. So that's what I was informed of.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's not what I was asking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You sort of
I'm sorry. I'll go back to what you said.
So that's fine. I just
Okay.
wrote it all down. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna add it all up.
Okay. Oh, so we're talking about the CalPERS. Now, I know people have high feelings about the CalPERS. What was relayed to me, total cost for the CalPERS, $46,866. Hold on. I know what you're thinking. That was for those flyers and the staff labor. And you say, what about those purple techs? And you should ask that question. Purple techs for free. We have, now this is what's being relayed to me. We have an account with SAIU International, and they pay for the purple techs. So your next question, well, what about that canceled CalPERS debate debacle? We were holding that debate so we could have all the candidates come. It would have been the first time in Local 1000 history. I was trying to get out ahead of those costs when the healthcare rates go up in January. That's what I was trying to do, and I wanted all the candidates to come. And from what I could research, you know, I said on video, and you have the video of who I was voting for, but I said, you can vote for who you want to vote for, but make sure you vote in the CalPERS election, because every vote matters in our great country. That's what I said. He said, well, how much did that debate that never happened cost? That cost $8,660.
Is that Metro Media?
Yeah, yes.
Well, I just saw Metro Media.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was-
So Teresa said she's absolutely right. It was Metro Media. Now, I know people have strong opinions about their health care and their children and their spouses. Some of us like certain people, some of us like other people. Well, speaking of CalPERS, Teresa sits on the CalPERS board. So I'm sure she
You certainly
definitely,
could have asked me questions about it, but you never did.
you know what? What she just said, she's right. She is absolutely right. She's the vice president on the CalPERS board, and I did not ask her questions because I thought that she wouldn't speak to me about the issue. And, you know, when we look at people's words and their actions, it does make us kind of uneasy at times. So I know that she sits on the board, and I'm sure she has a lot of knowledge, but we may disagree on these people. And I want some people to know this, because I've never said this openly before. I did my research. Don't ever think that I don't. And you look at the votes. I disagree with how David Miller voted in the past. But it goes deeper than that. See, some people look down on you. And when people look down on me, I don't forget David Miller. Okay. So that's the CalPERS situation. So these questions that they're asking, and I'm going to jump to this question because this is a hot one. Money, international, and the SEIU State Council. Oh, listen up, listen up. Don't let these people tell you that we're not part of SEIU State Council, and I see you, Kevin Manager. We are part of SEIU State Council. Oh, yes, we are. If you think we're going to let Tim Draper run us, wrong answer.
But the dues weren't paid until September 1st is what I see.
No, the dues were paid in August, the SIU State Council dues were paid in August.
August 24th, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But they received them September 1st.
Now, the way it's explained to me, when they send it across the desk and I approve it, they approve it, and then when the money gets delivered, I don't control how the money gets delivered. So when you ask that very important question about the money for international and state council, if you look, and I looked hard on that, that money has been delivered. We are in good standing. We did a vote. Myself, Annika Walls, and Irene Green, we are on the state council. We had 4 seats. We dropped down to 3. It was reported to me that I had no influence on us losing 1 seat because of our membership. And that's what was relayed to me. And the money has been paid. We are in good standing. And international, we are in good standing. And what I,
Was there a reason it was late? 2 months late?
I was never, wait a minute.
July and August. So, July and
Right.
August.
So at the end of July, a lot of stuff was coming across my desk, and I held things up to make sure I approved things correctly. So that July payment was approved along with the August payment. But what I can't understand is I did not try to not pay on time. I just wanted to make sure that the financial stuff that was coming across my desk at the end of July was paid. And that's what I did. But that's a good catch, Teresa Taylor. Good catch. If you look at the international, that money's been paid, which is,
So you paid that timely, but didn't pay the state council timely.
wait a minute. I'm glad you brought that up.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh,
I'm just-
okay, I'll back up. I'll wait
Yeah.
for
So
you.
I'm
Yeah,
just asking.
yeah. Because when that payment came across for the state council, I wanted to make sure that we paid it, but I had a lot of stuff coming across, and I wanted to make sure that I was approving what I knew was right without violating my platform. So these are good questions. These are really good questions. But we are in good standing with the state council. And with international. Oh, and before someone calls me, no, I'm not admitting anything, Denise Quinn Allen. It's funny that you would say that. Because, when it comes to words and actions that matter,
No, don't cough
it's funny that you say
Oh,
that.
I do.
It's very funny. It's funny that you say that. Okay, I see you, Kevin. So she was asking about the SIU State Council money for July that was paid in August, along with the August payment. And so I wanted to make sure that everything I was approving correctly. So that payment was paid in August. But the funny thing about it is that it was paid and we never lost anything. And we never lost our good standing. And I appreciate you coming to our Zoom meeting, Kevin Manager. I deeply appreciate that. So they're going through. And so today is about money. I can't remember. Well, yes, I can. Do you remember a person years ago that worked in DMV? She called herself Miriam Dweejum. And she wanted to look at the books, and she had to fight, and she had to use all her attorney money. I think she paid over 30-some thousand so she could look at the books here. Remember that? Or did you forget? Actually, should have had her come in today. Because she had to use attorney fees to see the books. All DLC 786 President Teresa Taylor did was just send an email. And she got it like that. So
Board members have a different right than regular members.
So Teresa says board members have a different right than regular members. Here's the funny thing about that. By corporation code, she's absolutely right. But by the spirit of financial transparency, which I ran on many years ago and I stayed consistent, here's the funny thing. Our money runs this union. And if I try to tell a dues-paying member,
Right here?
okay, so if I try to tell a dues-paying member that, I'm sorry, sir. Okay, so if I try to tell a dues-paying member they can't look at these financials, whether they sit on the board or not, oh my goodness. That's not going to go over very well. It's not going to go over very well at all. So, again, our words and actions matter. Our words and actions matter.
Thank you.
So,
I like, yeah, we have that delivered here today.
this is what real transparency is about. And I know a lot of people run on words like, oh, I'm going to be transparent, or we're going to change this, or we're going to do this. But you know deep in your heart, you know who the real one is. Oh, yes, you do. You know who the real one is. You know, that's why, you know, when we were approving the UAW 2350 contract weeks ago,
Right.
they didn't want to talk about it out in the
I thought that
open.
was convenient.
I know,
You know, they didn't want to do that.
it's just old stuff.
So, you know,
It's so embarrassing.
I find it interesting
Just talk to the bear.
how, you know, yeah, I'm talking to the bear too. Hey, Fred, how are you? You embarrassed, Fred? No, not you? Okay, cool. So I just find it interesting how people, when they look for financial transparency and they're looking for things that oftentimes we tell on ourselves when we're looking for things. We really do. Someone said, we want to go way back in the past and know everybody who's been on union leave. We want their names, Richard. And we want to know how much their salaries were and what they were doing on union leave. What special projects were they on? Were they helping build membership? What exactly were they doing? I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. Let's do a recap because I know some people are just coming on. Teresa wanted the straight answer on that last in rally cost. $51,500. She's getting to the CalPERS situation. That cost for the printing of the flyers, the design was free. The design of the flyers that went out to close to 86,000 representative employees of Local 1000, the design for those flyers were free. So, you didn't know. You said, well, how did you get it free, Richard? Did you get a strike up a great deal? Our flyers was printed out by Commerce Printing. You didn't know who they were? Oh, they're a local union shop. You know I'm getting ready to say something. I've been waiting a while for this. People want to do all that talk. Okay. Now remember, you say, what do we drink? Pepsi or Coke? Remember that challenge? Okay. So we had free design by Commerce Printing. They mailed out the flyers. Hold on a second. They printed and mailed out the flyers. That costs a total $46,866. You didn't know who Commerce Printing is? They're a local union shop in town. They can print, they can design for free, and they can mail.
Hasn't SEIU used them for years?
Teresa has jumped out ahead of me. Teresa Taylor is absolutely correct. She says, haven't Local 1000, she said exactly, SEIU Local 1000, used them for years. Wait a minute. Teresa's right. You know, we may have our differences, but when she's right, she's right. When she's right, she's right. But here's where it gets deep. And I know Teresa doesn't want to really talk about this out in the
I
open.
think this may take us more than a couple of hours.
Let me see. Whatever.
Local 1000
Ooh, that's kind of-
has used Commerce Printing to print our contracts in my opinion, for the last 11 years. It's so funny how things come up. And I know when I work with staff, they think, I don't want to tell you what they think about me. So
I'll do the last half,
It's-
you do the first half.
Commerce Printing
Quite a bit.
has been used by Local 1000 for the last 11 years to print our contract. Now remember what I said.
20.
They are a local union company. They can print and they can mail. And when they use their union bug on our materials, you don't have to worry about them using somebody else's union bug.
Triage. Exactly. What you really want.
Listen to how I say this to y'all.
We got everything we want.
Because when I get ready to lay this out for you
Okay, good.
about this CalPERS flyers that was printed, on a legit union label by Commerce Printing, a local union shop that can print and mail all in one area. And they can design, and there's no such thing as something they cannot do. Well, wait a minute. Some don't sound right. And when they go through those financials, and I know Teresa Taylor's going to go through them, she's going to see somebody's name show up. Yeah. Somebody's name's going to show up. And that person was getting a lot of money from this union. Remember when we had to do the redo election for the VP of bargaining? Remember when I got so emotional when I had to whoosah? I had to slow down because I was so upset that Irene Green had to run a second time, and that cost our union how much money? $365. I think it's $360. $360,000 to do a redo election because of something that could have been prevented from day one if the elections committee had did their job correctly. And so when people get on Facebook talking about they did an elections report and why I'm afraid to put it up. Oh, we're going to put it up probably. And we're going to put up a whole lot of information about the elections vendors. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, yes, we are. We spent $360,000 for no reason at all. Those mistakes could have been caught a long time ago. Elections committee, vendors. What the heck happened? Who directed all of that? In fact, all that money it costs to run our union elections, and you mean to tell me we got a union print shop in town that could have did it for a fraction of the cost? You never seen me make that face before, have you? Oh, I see some trouble coming. I got a lot of information at my disposal. Why did we spend $360,000 for no reason at all to do a redo election when Irene Green won the first time? And don't tell me, well, there were people's names on the ballots that shouldn't have been there. That should have been caught a long time ago. Who allowed that to happen? Paul Koch. You do a lot of talking on Facebook, Paul, but you got the right one. Elections cost more than just printing and mailing. I don't think so, Kevin Manager. I think you want to stay out of this one, Kevin. Kevin Manager, I'm telling you, you want to stay out of this one. Because me and old David Jimenez, we've been talking. He just ain't told you. You want to stay out of this one, Kevin the Manager. See, I got more information than you got. Because remember, when you were elected, they took away your union leave and put you down to 1 week a month. They tried to destroy you, Kevin. They didn't allow you to do anything, Kevin. But I'm not like that. David is doing David and doing a great job. That election could have been ran for a lot cheaper than what it was run for. And here's the catcher. All these years, all that cost for elections. And Annika too, you're absolutely right. She's doing a great job too. All these years, all those election costs. Well, wait, how is Paul Koch involved in this? What was his goal? Well, wait a minute. Go to California Transparency. He retired in 2009? Well, how many elections has he been involved in? I can't remember. You see, someone told me, Richard, you'll never beat Yvonne Walker. I don't live by never. I live by the grace of God through Jesus Christ. And I'm going to find peace in every way. Because I keep my head to the sky. And this is just for you, Kevin Manager. Don't stop believing. You may not like Journey, but you don't go against Journey. I don't care what you say. That's a legendary rock group. Ain't nobody as good as Journey. With respect to Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. You've been checked, Kevin Manager. Don't ever come for me. Okay, back to professionalism. So, anyway, I know y'all laughed at that one. So listen, the election costs. All these years, all that money. Who was making all this money off Local 1000? And we could have did it for a fraction of a cost with a union print shop? Something's going on. See, now none of this would have come out, but now people are digging and asking questions. And I'm going to jump ahead of the DLC presidents here. They said 120 days. What happens one day when these DLC presidents say, no, we're going all the way back to the past, and we want to go from 2008 to the future? And,
I'm gonna be blind when I'm done.
you know, because he didn't make it big enough, Teresa.
That's all right.
But that's my
I
personal
also
opinion.
didn't
Oh,
pick
well, hold
my
on.
glasses up
Well,
yet.
no, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. And I'm gonna show you respect. Wait a minute. Well, I got you covered, Teresa. Wait a minute. Hold on, I got you. Hold on. Guess what I got? Oh, we gotta get that sanitizer. I got the magnifying glass. So where's that sanitizer at? Hold on. Oh, I got you covered. She said
My
the
eyes
same thing that I said yesterday.
My eyes
So
are
here.
like squinting. I mean, they
Hold
used
on.
to squint
Oh, I
before.
don't have two though.
Let alone.
I have one.
We can
Oh, you
trade
have one?
back and forth.
I'll get one.
Here.
Let alone squinting
Thank you.
already.
Got you covered. Now, they're going through all these complicated documents, and I had the same problem. People laughed at me yesterday. I love the staff, though. I really love them. But they laughed at me. But when the DLC president says they have a hard time seeing, you don't see me laughing at them. I hop right up and get them what they need. I guess I'm still the president. So anyway, back to this money. All this money that's been spent over the years. But yet you see Paul Koch on Facebook acting like he knows everything. Huh. Well, I tell you what. For the amount of money he made off Local 1000, he may know everything. I'm just telling you. I mean, I don't really want to go back to the past and look through all this stuff. I want to kind of let the past be in the past. The only thing that I hooped and hollered about was enforcing our contract, protecting our money, you know, making sure we have enough reps to do all this hard work. Because, oh my goodness, because with the alpha comes the omega, or the omega. No longer are politics driving our work. Oh, no. Work will drive our politics. In my mind, labor is our politics. But some people say work drives our politics. But back to Paul Koch. And all this money you made over the years. How many years you been working as a vendor for Local 1000, Paul Koch? I bet you won't answer that question. How much money have you made over the years? And who was you working with? And how many companies did that person own? And was that company, or those companies, were they union shops? Or were only a couple people in them areas, quote, a union? Did you use those print labels, those union bugs on those materials in 2015 and 2018 correctly? I bet you didn't. I bet you I got legal documents that said you did not do that. You thought you had me? What time is it? Showtime. Oh, I'm feeling it today. But we're going to have fun. So the most important thing is about the finances. But I'm so afraid that one of these DLC presses is going to come back and demand they want to see it all. And what happens then? You think that I'm controversial. Ain't nothing worse than seeing the board of people just really turn on each other. What kind of watch is this? It's a it's some knockoff. This watch is a knockoff watch. This thing may probably cost $20 or somewhere. I don't even know what the name of this thing is. I just try to look fancy. Now, hold on. What? No, this gold is real. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. No. This is 80s gold, okay? You don't come at a brother talking about his gold. No. Don't go there with me. The watch is a knockoff. This is real. My word is worth its weight in gold. All right, not to get emotional. So anyway, back to the money. So we're doing this financial transparency today. Fantastic day. And I know people thought, oh, you'll never see Teresa Taylor and Richard Louis Brown in the same room. You'll never see that. You're seeing it. Well, you're seeing me. She's here. But, you know, this is really a good thing, though, because this is going to open the door for so much more to come out. And, you know, here's what I'll say on behalf of the former president. We may not agree with all her decisions. We may not agree with how she did things. But what she did do, she kept this union going for 13 straight years. Oh, yes, she did. And she had the respect by the majority of that board. Oh, yes, she did. Oh, yes. I hope that I will be given a chance to get the respect by not just 33 of the board, but more than that. And I hope that I can work with the DLC presidents to increase the dues paying membership of their DLC. And most importantly, we want to make sure that when our people are having problems in the workplace, that we have the staff, a qualified staff, that will represent them and will answer their calls within 48 hours. Okay?
Turn that off.
So, some people say, well, the way things are, sometimes people create things, sometimes people custom build things. Listen, we all have opinions. And just because we may not agree with everything the former president did, there is respect that I will give her. You thought I hated Yvonne. Oh, you thought I despised her. You may be talking about yourself. We don't agree on stuff. We just don't. She says she ain't showing you no financial transparency, and I'm showing you financial transparency. She says we got to give up our money for 2 days, a month, for 2 straight years. I say, oh, hell no, we ain't. Oh, heck no, we're not. We just have a different way of looking at things. That doesn't mean that I'm great or she's not great or she's great and I'm not great. It's just personal, different way of looking at things. And I know some people feel strongly about her. I say this. We got to unify our union. And you say, well, how can we unify the union, Richard, when you can't even unify the board? And you know what I would say? You right. But don't think I ain't trying. Remember, I haven't done videos in a long time. Well, what's Richard doing? Well, I'm at work sites. Now you've even figured out, oh yeah, he's going to work sites. He won't even tell us ahead of time. He just shows up like the virus. I just don't show up at work sites like the virus. I get pre-approval. I don't need pre-approval. I'm the president of Local 1000. Don't get it twisted. But I know I'm gonna get twisted with these DLC presidents. I know I show up at their work site. Oh boy, I better make some phone calls and start doing some begging. I thought I had arrived, but not really. So, I haven't done videos in a long time. I'm going to work sites. I talk to people. You know what I noticed? It appears to me that the DLC presidents also want financial transparency. It's not just Teresa Taylor. It's not just Francina Stevenson. It's not. But more importantly, our members want financial transparency. Because remember, there is no board unless they got voted on, unless they ran unopposed. And even then, if you run unopposed, that's kind of a vote too. That people in your DLC, if you ran unopposed and became a DLC president, then some would say that your DLC is in such sad shape that no one cares about your DLC. That's why they didn't even bother to run. Some would say that. Some would say, well, you're doing a great job as a DLC president. That's why no one wants to run against you. Yeah, it's subjective. Just like it's subjective when they say, well, Richard, you only won with 33% of the vote. Is that my fault? Remember how I was begging non-members to become dues-paying members so they can vote in the election? And some of y'all went on Facebook and lied and said, he tried to buy my vote. I ain't trying to buy anything. I tried to encourage you to vote. That's what I tried to do. Well, you only want 33% of the vote, so you ain't really a president. But yet, your president's sitting right here, giving financial transparency on video. I've never, in my entire 21 years of life, like I said 21? No, I'm in 52. 52 years of life, ever seen a president of any organization in the world go on Facebook and tell you the truth while they're going through financials. You'll never, ever, ever see it. You know why? You know what? I'm gonna tell you why. See, some of you are so evolved. You know, you say things change over time. We've evolved now. We do things differently.
You got all the Tony Owen stuff.
You have Tony?
Yes.
You read it
Yes.
all day.
Yeah, and they're talking about Tony Owens,
Well,
but I'm talking about being
It's
evolved.
at the bottom.
And when they ask questions about Tony, I want to make sure I answer those questions clearly for them. So,
I can if you like.
some people say we've evolved over time.
Everything we can.
Yes. So, yeah.
We have not evolved.
This part.
Well, I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for other people.
Yeah.
I haven't evolved. You know why? Because I was created like this on June 15th, 1969. And if you're counting, the month of June is 6, and the number is 15. And 15 and 6 is 21. But you think I'm playing. What year are we in right now? Okay. But you think I'm playing. Okay. I didn't evolve. You may have evolved from some type of lower species or whatever. But let me send this message to those who call themselves Ishmael and Isaac. All three of us agree. We haven't evolved from anything. We were created. Okay? We were created. So, one quick thing, hold on. Is it about the Tony Owens? Because I know that's complicated.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So, in my mind, I was created. And Ishmael and Isaac stand with me. Oh, yes, they do. And therefore, Local 1000, we're creating a new culture of excellence. That's what we're doing. You can't change what you never had. And Carolyn, I respect your belief in science, because in this great country, you have the freedom of religion to choose or not choose in a higher power, And I want you to stay believing in science. You keep believing in science. You do that. And to those who believe in science, don't you give up. Hold your ground. Stand by your beliefs. I want you to. You know why? Because I don't know everything. And neither do you. And it's a funny thing about science. You know, they say 1 minute science is this, and they say, oh, well, we found more information, so now we got to make some changes. Oh, okay. You know, I may be wrong. But you know, I'm going to take my chance with the afterlife. Oh, yes, I am. It's kind of like, oh, this is good. I'm feeling it today. It's kind of like having a union. It's kind of like having an insurance policy. I've never said this one before on video. My belief in a higher power, and you say you believe in science, cool. But I'm going to have a backup plan, which is really my only plan. So I'm going to put my belief in something I've never seen. Evidence of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. I'm taking my chance on that. And you say, well, have you seen God lately? No, I ain't seen him. Well, how you know he's around? How you know? Well, I know he gave me that dream that I was going to win this election and I was going to get sworn in. And he gave me the dream that someone was upset that I won the election, but no matter what they did, it wouldn't be enough. Oh, because that's not analytical? Oh, fair enough. I'm going off my feelings through the spirit world? Fair enough. Remember, this is about financial transparency, but I'm going to take you symbolically deeper. If you go off financial transparency, and I hope the presidents hear me on this, if you go off numbers and financial transparency to make your decisions, you will not have no union. I can guarantee you that in this country. Because of financial transparency, by doing research, by analytical numbers, you cannot afford to pay the staff quality wages and still stay on top and keep all the money to yourself. No, you can't. That's a corporation. You can't afford to give people pensions and let them walk around retired at 55, 60, and they walking around for the next 40 years. You know. Oh, I'm sorry. So, But I was actually picking on behalf of unions this time. So listen. This belief that I have, that I got criticized for, I'll take the criticism. It's cool. I haven't criticized you for not, believing in a higher power. It's cool. I get it. You say you want to believe in science or you don't want to believe in anything. That's fine. I want to believe in something and you say, well, woo, 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 woo. Okay. I still believe in prayer. Always have, always will. It's something about righteous truth that stands true through all the times versus the science or scientific truth or the situational truth. It's funny. It's kind of like friendship. Once you make a friend for life, good days or bad days, they show up for you. And you may not always agree with your friends, but if they are true to being your friend, they're going to be there for you. That's a strong belief. But those who say, hey, we don't believe in this, we don't believe in that, you watch those people. Because when things get tough, let's see if they stay around to be your friend. But those who are truly inspired, that live by a higher calling, you want to be friends with those people. Again, today's about financial transparency. So we're at 11:05.
So you're doing the breakouts?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
And-
do just this page.
Okay.
They're going through the statements. So they're discussing. And,
On an Excel?
Yes.
Yeah.
they're trying to formulate how they can take these numbers and then present it in a fashion to say that, my leadership is ineffective and that it's harmful.
That's not
To
why
the
we're
union.
here, Richard. Thank
Oh, it's
you.
not? Oh, okay.
No, that's not
Hold
why
on.
we're here.
She said I was incorrect. So I'll pull that statement back. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. But I do have a feeling, though, in the future, more people are going to come to the union. And, hold on. Fred? What? Yeah. Okay. So, and we encourage, Fred Jr. was talking to me. Fred G. Jr. was talking to me. We encourage people that if you believe in Local 1000 and you have questions, you should ask. I don't ever remember a president of a union that returns phone calls.
I have phone calls all the time from Ms. Walker. I think
Am I allowed-
Ms. Francina did too.
Wait a minute, am I allowed to say that or no?
Sure. I got phone calls all the time from Yvonne.
All right, so
Yep.
DLC 786 president Teresa Taylor said she got phone calls from Yvonne all the time. And you know what I would say to that? She better have been calling you. You were her VP Secretary Treasurer from 2015 to
Before
2018.
that,
Oh,
before that.
oh, okay. Okay,
In 2008, when she first got elected,
okay.
she called me to convince me to stay because I had the DLC had just elected a team of folks that were Ken Hamidi folks.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So
That's a good point. That's a
she
good point.
just gotten elected.
2008.
So she reached out to a lot of people.
Now, I'm glad that Teresa said that our former president Yvonne did reach out to a lot of people in 2008.
And after.
And
Okay,
after,
okay.
yeah.
From 2008 through 2021, she reached out to a lot of people. Now, a lot of people on Facebook will dispute that. This is a great thing about having opinions in this country. Currently in this country, you're still allowed to give out dissenting opinions on issues.
Did she call all 96,000? And do you? Probably not, right?
I'm glad you said that too. So Teresa said, do I call all 96,000 or a little bit under 96,000 when she took over? The correct number now, we are nearly at 100,000. Oh, yes, we are. And so she asked, do I call all 100,000? Well, I don't have the permission to call all 100,000. I'm glad she asked that. Because if they ask me how I called them, how I got their number. So here's the funny thing, though. Here's the funny thing. See, when people start talking, oh, I love it. Because I can talk all day. People have my phone number. They've had it since 2015. Did anybody have Yvonne Walker's personal phone number to call her on her cell phone at 12 o'clock at night? Because some of y'all have done that to me. And I fooled you. I answered the phone. Oh, you thought, oh, he just talking. Remember when I showed up at 3 o'clock at that work site in EDD in West Sacramento? You said, oh, he ain't gonna show up. Yeah. Some of y'all thought, well, now he's the president. He gonna change and act all presidential. You can't govern like that. Yeah. I see all y'all. Jaquitas, Jax, Tyrone's. Oh, yes, I do. Y'all think, oh, he crazy. And then every day I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and then I do it. And then you sit back, I just don't know what he's doing. It's like God always helps him. I don't understand. Why doesn't God come help me like that? I don't get it. I told you I have a divine destiny. I told you that. But still a beautiful day today with the financial transparency. Beautiful day. This has been a great day. And if you would have asked me years ago, do you think you ever go and become the president of Local 1000, Richard? Man, I wanted to. I tried so hard in 2018. I wanted to be the president in 2018. Man, I did. You said, what about this one? Yes. And you wanted to take on all those challenges at the same time? The COVID, the telework, the federal money that's missing? You want to take all those challenges on? Yes, sure, absolutely. And you don't want that salary stipend, Richard? No. Why not? Because I'm real. Richard DeReal, 7 days a week. 7 days to start life, 7 days to end life, to the four corners of the earth. 3 times I'll tell you, Richard Lewis Brown, Richard Lewis Brown, Richard Lewis Brown. I'm here. I didn't take the money. $46,646. I did not take that extra money. Now, some of you say you must be some type of fool. I think you're right. I must be some type of fool. But the VPs are no fools. They have sincerity. They have integrity. They're professional. That's why they didn't take the money. Anyway, this financial transparency. Let's run back all these numbers again. The CalPERS flyers, to print it up and to mail it, $46,866.53. However, we got to add the CalPERS debate, $8,660, and I think I wrote the number down. Oh, where's it at? I think it's a total number, Teresa, of, I got it right here. That total number I have of the CalPERS flyers and then the CalPERS debate, $55,526.53. I'll say it again. The total cost for the CalPERS, the flyers, and the debate, I have total cost $55,526.53. Last in Raleigh, $51,500 rounded. Some of you say, well, what's the big deal? They gave $1 million to SEIU State Council, and they didn't take the vote of the membership. You said, what's the big deal? I don't know. You tell me. They said, Richard, your behavior on July 6th at the emergency board meeting to set aside $2 million to help those in Lansing County for housing, for food, for childcare. And I was reading those impact statements from CCC. And then as a new president, I was making my opening remarks, but they didn't have the patience. They didn't have the patience to listen. But yet, I'm sitting here today, patiently going through these documents. Well, they're going through the documents, I'm watching them. But I went through it as well. And so they said, well, we don't have the patience for you. Does that mean that they don't have the patience for the voters? I'm confused. I don't understand. You get in, you work hard for a number of years to get elected off a 10-point platform. And then they don't have the patience. Someone said, what about those in DBI? That happened before I got in. See, a lot of people are talking about other people who have lost their jobs, like the ones at DBI, that prison. But that happened before I showed up on the scene. A lot of people are saying, well, Richard, if the conversation about telework started in September of 2020, and Yvonne had this great relationship with our governor, Gavin Newsom, then why didn't they create a permanent telework plan for all state agencies? They started in September of 2020. It could have been easily done. Remember what I told you? I'll tell you again. If Yvonne had created that telework policy with Kyle HR that would have been implemented for all state agencies, I'm telling you this, along with getting some type of money from the state surplus money, forget the federal money, the state surplus money, I'm telling you this religiously, she would have been reelected. I'm telling you this. You can think what you want to think. She would have been reelected if that telework conversation, she would have been reelected along with the federal or some of that state surplus billions of money. If she would have stopped that POP in January, when they announced that we had, I think, 76 billion, I think 38 to 40 billion was on the hook, locked up money, but the rest was free. Remember, the state of California across all 12 public sector unions in that fiscal period saved, I think, 2.6 billion. You said, well, that's a lot of money. Not really. Not when you're close to, close to 77 billion. That 2.6 is nothing. If she would have stopped the POP, because she had the alliance, she had the strategic relationship. Remember, our union helped this man get elected. He took pictures with us. Go back in the past and look on the website. Or go back and look on the internet. He had his arms around us. He was walking with us. He had our full support. Heck, I voted for him in 2018. A lot of these things that people are talking about, financial transparency, what financial transparency did the former president give you? She didn't give you anything. She just didn't. I'm not trying to sound negative, but she didn't feel that was part of her management style. And every leader has a different management style, a different leadership style. Nothing to sound, this or that. Different types of leaders lead differently. You said, well, Richard, what is your leadership style? I know what it is. Do I have to tell you? Or can I just show you? The people in Lansing County, they know where I'm at. Some other people in the union also know what I've done for them. I just don't say it on camera. See, a lot of people doing a lot of talking, but behind the scenes, they call me and they say all kinds of things to me. You don't know about that part. But today's about the money. And if there's one thing I know, it's money. And the funny thing about it, you know that too about me. Everybody knows that about me. He's crazy and this and he's that. But when it comes to that money, I'm not playing. If we're paying, we paying. This is what we're doing. That's the truth. And you know it. And that's the funny thing about all of this. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just not doing things the way you would do it. I'm not doing it the way the former president did things. But each president is going to be different. remember, I said we want to create a new culture of excellence. And I said, I'm going to do videos, and I'm going to show you. The COVID agreement. Now, I know it's not a perfect agreement. And I know I'm going off track because we're doing the financial stuff. The COVID agreement has been signed, and it's up on our website. And I know it's not perfect. But we are fighting for you. We are fighting for you. Now, some of you say you're not fighting for me because I want everybody to be COVID vaccinated. COVID, because I know I don't, you know, as someone says, you don't say that word right. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm an American, okay? I don't see all my words correctly, okay? Good gosh. I thought serving the country and getting a college education would give me a little bit of latitude, but I guess not. So it's not a perfect agreement, but it's up on the website for your criticism. We're working on the telework agreement. It's going to take us a little bit of time. It will get done. And as the caller on Wednesday night stated, our side letter agreement supersedes everything in our contract on page 341, section 21.1 about telework. No. Now, I went back after that call Wednesday night. And you know me. I'm going to go look some stuff up. And I print out both side letter agreements. And the new side letter supersedes the old side letter. And in the old side letter, do I have it in front of me? The old side letter agreement. I guess I don't have it in front of me. Okay. The old side letter agreement says that the state and the union will commit to working to expand the telework situation. They make a commitment to expand. You know, it's funny. I made a commitment to stay married years ago. That didn't work. Oh, hold on a second. Don't look at me all funny now. Some of you cats on Facebook, y'all divorced too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, some of us been divorced. Okay. Y'all think, see, here's what tickles me. Y'all laughed at me, and then when I go live and I kind of give it to y'all kind of look like, wow. Yeah. So when they make that commitment in that side letter agreement dated June 19th, 2020, they made a commitment.
Oh, yeah, please.
And so my question is, that commitment of the old side letter agreement that's not mentioned in the new side letter agreement dated 6/4/2021, I'm confused. How can the state make a commitment to us about expanding telework in a huge fashion, even though the governor said, you know, in this, I think in the summer of 2020, he wanted 75% of all state employees to telework. This is where me and Mr. Gavin, we're in lockstep. Go Gavin! Yeah! On this particular measure. But how is the state going to make a commitment to expand telework when you can't even honor your own agreement about paying us our wages? Man, please. I'm sorry, that wasn't presidential. Okay, so I just don't understand how the state can do these side letter agreements and make these commitments when they couldn't even honor our contract to begin with. Heck, they can't even honor the ideal of treating us with respect and dignity in the workplace. Well, maybe I'm just too common sense.
There it is. Okay, never mind. It's the next one.
Now look, I don't want you to say I'm bad-mouthing Governor Gavin Newsom.
I'm looking at you.
Richard, you got to create a
I
relationship.
already did.
You know, a relationship
Like I said, you're doing all of the detail.
with Gavin Newsom.
These.
I told you I disagreed with him on this. I disagreed with him
Sounds good.
Okay.
And I strongly agree with him
I can move on.
on this telework.
Oh, okay, good.
But why hasn't it not happened? But yet they're doing a side letter agreement June 19th, 2020, saying that we're going to make a commitment. What kind of commitment you trying to make? Heck, you couldn't even honor your first commitment. That's kind of like a husband saying to the wife, well, hey, I know I done messed up. But, on June 19th, 2020, don't you worry, I'm going to act better. You ain't going to do anything. Time to file for a divorce. Get it over with. Move on. Cut your losses. Pay the money. Okay? I'm just being honest with you. Real to real. And this is the great thing about having financial transparency. How did we know that we were 76 billion up? Financial transparency. How did we know we had 27 billion coming from the federal government? Financial transparency. Freedom of the press. They're not being censored. Don't you love that? When you have freedom in this great country? You kind of like it as long as it fits your needs? Yeah, fair enough. I'm not perfect. You ain't perfect. Nobody's perfect, But because of that financial transparency, we know about the money. But the interesting thing about today is the information they're researching, the stuff that they're writing. I told you from the very beginning, they could have asked me these questions. I could have given them the numbers real quick. And then they would have helped them go through those documents a lot easier. And even though I'm running my mouth and they're going through those documents, oh, trust me, when I keep repeating these numbers, oh, trust me, they have written them down, and then they're going to see if it adds up to the documents they're going through. That's how it added up for what was related to me. Unless I'm being given wrong information. Somebody's not on the up and up. It ain't me. You know me, I'll put everything up. Because here's the thing. If you say, well, Richard, we want you to put up everything. Here's your problem. I've been here for 90-some days. Other people have been dealing with this union and been involved in this union for many more years than me. So if all this stuff comes out, and remember, they say I'm crazy anyway. So if I'm so crazy and I don't know anything and I'm inexperienced, what little mistakes I may have made, who cares? But what about those who are highly intelligent, those who have a reputation to protect, those who are envied by others? What happens when all that stuff comes out on them, on this financial transparency? What happens when we find out some people have been on union leave for 5, 10 years? What happens then? I know that certain people ran in this election on a forensic audit. To be quite honest, I don't know if I'm really for that forensic audit. Some people could perceive it as a witch hunt. I think today kind of a witch hunt, but they say, no, it's not a witch hunt, Richard. We just want to make sure that you're acting accordingly, Richard. Okay, fair enough. But some people would call a forensic audit a witch hunt. Other people would say, no, it's called accountability. This is going to be a review of our financial statements. Now, are we going to hire an outside firm? I don't know. Some people say, well, we're a member-ran union. And we got enough smart people walking around here. We can do it ourselves. Well, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how all this turns out, whether I'm here or not. I think, because I can't predict the future, when everything comes out on who made so much money out of this union for so many years on different issues, you're going to say, oh, well, Richard wasn't the problem. No, Richard was never your problem. And it's going to become quite clear. Quite clear. And that's why I'm so excited for this fantastic Fiesta Friday on October 1st, 2021. That's why I'm so excited. You thought I was going to do one of those crazy videos? No, this is about money today. This is about money. And so they're going through these documents. They'll be wrapping things up here shortly. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they say, you know what? We want to come back again. Okay. That's fine. I don't have anything. I'm talking to the bear. Again, the bear's name is Fred G. Jr. That's the bear's name. Now we're going to give the bear his respect. And this financial transparency is about respect. It's too bad that the board, or should I say, certain members of the board cannot give me respect.
So this looks real wrong, and that would be Yvonne's mistake.
So,
Because
hold on one second.
I'm on 80% CalPERS,
Mhm.
not union leave, not full-time union leave.
Really?
I'm sorry, 70%. I'm only 30% union leave, or it was.
So the union leave has come up. Interesting.
Just FYI.
These were initial.
Okay, so then this was
So
something else. I saw this up here, but couldn't read it.
union leave is now a question being asked.
Sounds okay. Sounds okay.
Interesting. Interesting.
So I just want to make sure
Union
that
leave.
it's appropriately accounted for, because the union should only be paying for
That-
30% of the time.
Really? Because that's what was reported to me.
I believe that's been properly
Okay.
accounted for.
Okay, so I'll make sure.
So that wasn't how that went.
Left over from a prior form that was just
Okay,
Mm.
okay. Oh,
Really?
I get it. I see what you're saying, okay.
So wait a minute. That's not how it was reported to me.
Me?
No, not you. Me. I mean, when I looked through that, that's not how I was seeing it. About the union leave.
For myself. This is what I'm talking about, for myself.
Right. So I didn't say who I was talking about. I'm just saying I'm talking about union leave. I'm not saying the particular person's name. So, I
So
mean,
70% of my time is billed to CalPERS.
So there's a question about union leave, and I'm not saying the person's name. So we're I don't think they heard you. My mouth's too loud. So, you know, we're gonna have to do some investigating, because I know that some of you are gonna run up on me and say, who was that person? Well, you know, we're being transparent, and we're talking about union leave. Well, who's the person? Well, we're being transparent.
I am making sure that, as Teresa Taylor, that the union is not being charged incorrectly for my union leave.
So here's a question that comes up. DLC 786 President Teresa Taylor says that she wants to make sure the union was not charged improperly for her union leave. You heard me say, the way it was relayed to me, that we were paying for her full-time union leave. She has instructed me that that's not the case. It was a different ratios. This is the first time me hearing this. So a lot of people are going to have questions about this. I don't currently have the answers. I was not going to say specifically who we were talking about, but she has addressed me and said it quite clearly. She thought that y'all could hear her. I said, no, I talk too loud. They can't hear her. So that's why I now have stated her name. So before y'all come at me and say, show us the proof that we didn't pay for her full-time union leave, we will have to investigate that situation. That's another situation we'll have to investigate. This is why when you start opening up all these questions and people start looking, because I know some of you people on here are looking
Well, I know
for...
for a fact that CalPERS does get charged for some of the union leave, because I have to sign documentation.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, Teresa says that for the union leave, CalPERS signed some documentation because she has to sign for some documentation. Before you run at me and say, we want to see all that documentation, you'll have to give me time. And I don't know how long that's going to take to get all that documentation over what ratios, over for what period of years. CalPERS paid for some of her union leave, and we paid for some of her union leave. I don't have all your answers. I'm telling you this ahead of time. Don't run up on me. Now, we're having an open, respectful, transparent conversation, because I know some of y'all have said, blah, 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 blah. Now, I don't have all that information in front of me. But this isn't about Teresa Taylor. I thought these questions were about...
I'm just making sure the union is not charged incorrectly, that's all.
And I respect Teresa for telling me this, but I did not want to talk about Teresa Taylor on video. What I wanted to talk about was this Tony Owens, because this has got me fired up on Tony. No, I'm fired up over Irene Green. Tony is just, I'm just kind of like, I told you we did not pay this man this money. I told y'all this. And if there's one thing, we're going to walk out of here on an agreement today. She can look at these numbers of Lassen County and over the CalPERS situation. She can dispute those numbers. We can dispute them all. Fine. But this Tony Owens, we're not disputing that. Oh, this is going to be clear cut. He didn't get paid no money. Period. And whatever union leave he had was pre-approved under Yvonne Walker on December 14th, 2020. We will have that cleared up today. Oh, yes. I'm not playing with y'all. But I'm happy, though. I'm in a great mood.
Hey,
I'm in a great mood.
borrow the big one. Magnifying one.
Yeah. So, because I know a lot of people thought our money's being used for him and he's not supposed to be on union leave or this or that. He didn't get no money from this union since I became president. I didn't sign for no money to be paid to him. I told y'all this. When she walks out, she's going to know this. She's going to know this. That union leave he got paid for was pre-approved on December 14th, 2020. He did not rob the union of any money. No, he did not. It's disrespectful to say that to Tony. Tony's worked hard his whole life. He's our union brother, a dues-paying member, a taxpayer, an American. And people were saying all these vile things about him.
I feel like I have something.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, Carolyn. Oh, I'm one step ahead of you, Carolyn. Oh, no. Yes, he is in good standing. He doesn't owe any money to the union. Teresa, I want you to know that for sure. He does not owe any money to the union. Not to interrupt you.
Okay.
He does not owe any money to the union. Oh, no. I have them documents in front of me in this stack of paperwork. No, he doesn't. Oh, no.
Because you paid him union leave.
To be quite honest, no. If he did owe any money to the union, he must have paid it back. He's in good standing with the union. No, that's not true. He's in good standing. He's our union brother. Come on now. He's the former VP of bargaining. Whether you liked it or not, he won an election. He won it fair and square. And then Irene had to do it all over again in the second election for $360,000. You know what I should call Irene? I should name her nickname 360. For all that heck she had to go through, all that extra campaigning she had to do. She should not have had to do that. It was wrong. I'm still upset about that. She won that election fair and square. She had to go through all that extra work. Over a mistake that could have been prevented. But the elections committee and Paul Koch, they didn't prevent it. And then they wonder why they got replaced. They wonder why. You don't have to wonder why. Financial transparency. You cost us all that money. And they look at this little money that I'm using the money to fight for jobs. I'm using the money to make an informed decision about CalPERS. And I begged y'all, I said, please vote in the CalPERS election. I didn't tell you who to vote for. I said, this is who I'm voting for. We sent you informational material. You took us like, oh, we're supporting these people. We sent you informational material. That's what we did. And those two people had responded to us for the CalPERS debate. Now, were the other two too busy, or maybe they had some, they were going through some issues? Possibly. I wish they could have let us know, hey, we can't make it. It's not because we don't respect the union. We value you guys. But at this time, we're not able to do it. But the elections committee and Paul Koch. See, Paul Koch, financial transparency. See, All this would not have come out if Teresa had said, had not asked for these questions. See, this is a problem. When you come out on me, drilling me, now you know, and I told people this, and y'all don't listen to me. You come swinging out on me because you think that I'm a swing puncher. I'll throw you that right hand. You'll catch on. You'll catch on. All this now is going to unveil about this elections information. And so when you see Paul Coker on Facebook, trying to educate, trying to influence the narrative to get me up out of here, you know why he's doing that, right? You know why he's doing that? He's trying to cover his tracks. Because it appears to me, and this is how I say this, it appears, I didn't say Paul Coker did anything wrong. I love Paul. Paul cool, I like Paul. And yes, I prefer Coke over Pepsi, I think. But it appears to me that something's wrong, Paul. Something's wrong. And your elections report, oh, I love it. It's great. But you kind of left out some information. You left out the fact that you've been doing all these elections for how long? You left that part out. You left out the fact of all the salaries you received during election months and non-election months. Oh, yeah, sure. But you on Facebook talking like you know everything. You sure you want to keep coming for me, Paul Coke? You sure? Because it appears to me that there's something amiss. There's a disconnect. Something's wrong. Because Commerce Printing can print and mail. And they own their union label. And they got designers. Oh, man, when I went over there, they look like they super smart. Like the Smarty People Academy. It's like them big old, what do you call them fancy, those Macintosh computers, Anybody that has a Mac computer, they're better than you, Feel like I'm going to the company of Johnson. They got a Mac computer, and they're just, So, Commerce Printing, and here's the thing. You say, well, do we even trust Commerce? Are they legit? I don't know. Well, they're a union company. They print up our contracts. You say, well, how do you know that? I just came from over there. I'll go over there and grab contracts, and I'll be, throwing them out to work sites. We ain't holding them contracts back. Oh, I was supposed to take a loyalty oath from you before I give you a contract? I guess that'll grow the membership, right? Boy, y'all got me confused. I'm like that rapper coming up in New York from the 5 boroughs, selling cassettes out the back of a car. I told you I was good. And now I'm not on CD. I'm on what do you call it? I'm on the music on the yes, online. You young people, you know what I'm saying. Music online. Yeah, that's who I am now. Commerce Printing is a union shop.
We're running out of time, and we still have a little bit to go through. We're almost done, I think.
So how much more time do you need?
Maybe an hour?
Another hour? You know what? I try to say, yeah, that's reasonable. Because I don't want y'all to say, oh, thank you, Carolyn, MP3, thank you. I don't want y'all to say, oh, well, he let Teresa come in there and Francina, and he gave him 2 hours, and then, he knew what he was doing. He knew that they needed 3 hours. No, what I would tell you is, we could have came in 15 minutes and got these numbers real quick, and then we could have had a conversation. That's what I would have told you. So, it was supposed to go to 12. They're writing numbers down, and they're going to add up these numbers on these sheets that they're writing. You know what? I should have had staff typing this up for them. That would have been faster. So, and that may happen too. So they're going to try to stay a little bit longer because they're making detailed notes. But I'm telling you on camera. And here's the funny thing about going on camera. All of you know what I say on camera, and you all watch. Let me repeat these numbers for you again, and I'm going to get back to Commerce Printing. CalPERS.
Oh, God,
CalPERS.
so many. It's getting sad.
$46,866.53 to print the flyers, to mail them out, and then with the CalPERS debate, $8,660. The cost for the last rally, $51,500 estimated, or that's the rough figure. Union leave was pre-approved by our former president, Yvonne Walker, December 14th, 2020, for 6 months for the 3 VPs. They only had 1 week because their union leave was reduced by the vote of the board, which had never been done before.
You got this right.
And
Yeah, I got all that.
Tony Owens did not use his pre-approved union leave in June, and he was not paid any money since I've taken office. I think that, oh, and the money to international and state council has been paid. I told you that the state council money that was paid for in July, that was supposed to be paid in July, was paid in August, because I was making sure that I was being overwhelmed in July, so I wanted to make sure that when I was approving those financial payments going out, that I did the right thing. We are in good standing. We have seats on the board. Myself, Annika, and Irene. We were in good standing with International. Oh, I didn't tell them this. I counted 33 stewards at the rally on August 27th.
This is the last day it's been printed.
And I'm not working with the Freedom Foundation. I did not support Larry Elder. I can verify it with my vote. Because I keep copies of what I do. Everybody tells me, well, how did you vote? Well, show me how you voted. All these folks are saying about, well, did you vote? Blah, 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 blah. Well, show me your voting record. See, my voting record's up on the website except for this latest vote. I got to get it all compacted and put on my website. But people talk about this transparency, but I don't see them showing me their voting record. People tell me, oh, I'm a staunch Democrat, and I did this, and I did that. Well, wake me up to reality. Wake me up to reality. Show me your voting record. Oh, you don't have it? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Here's the funny thing. A lot of these, it appears to me that there could be some things wrong with our union. It appears to me that a certain number of leaders in our union, maybe some of them sit on the board, maybe they talk about financial transparency and spending our money wisely. You know what I would say? Check this out. This is how you quote peak game. So the translation is you're asking, for someone to show you some transparency. So you basically ask them some questions that they don't want to answer, and then you quote see who they really are. That means peak game. Okay. I challenge anybody on Facebook. Think of a name. I won't single no one out. Put up your credit report. No, not you. Anybody on Facebook who thinks that they are so good in financial standing and are demanding financial transparency from the union, put up your credit report since you think you're so good. Uh-huh. Now, if I call, then you say, well, put yours up. Oh, trust me. Put your credit report up. Mm-hmm. Put your stuff up since you're talking. I think some of y'all do all this talking. I think your credit report is probably, possibly, maybe, mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that credit report goes back 7 years? Or maybe 10 or whatever. Some of you probably have long outstanding credit. But I want you to put your credit report up and then challenge me. In fact, you know what we should do if you want to do some financial transparency for people? Put your tax returns up. Mm-hmm. Oh, you remember when someone called me out back in oh gosh. Oh man. I think I was talking stuff I think I was talking stuff in 2015, and someone called me out, and I sent them some information. I scared people so bad, they said, this guy must be crazy. Put my social on there. I don't care. I ain't afraid. You seen the cops came to my house. I'm still living. So you do all this talking. Put your credit report up for your financial transparency. In fact, before you come asking questions to the board, I'm not going to ask Teresa or Francine nothing like that. But, you know, y'all come talking about, we want to see some financial transparency. Yeah, put your credit report up so we know that you come in good standing since you're talking. Yeah, show us your tax returns. I was told that most Americans live in debt. That was a lie. I shouldn't follow them. So don't follow the numbers then. But you say I only want 33% of the vote. So that tells me that, I see you, Carolyn. I ain't worried about identity theft. Carolyn, look at me. Do you think anybody wants to be me? Come on now, please. I hate the type of person. Listen, if they hijack the airplane, do you think they're coming to get me? They may come and grab Teresa. No, save Teresa. If they come and grab me, you ain't getting no money. Nobody wants my identity. Get out of here. But I understand you for saying that. But ain't nobody trying to be Richard Lewis Brown? Huh? You ain't trading places with me. Oh, that's too real. Fair enough. But when I sent that information out, I proved my point. When you call me out, I'm gonna call back. But not always as fast as you want me to. You say, oh. Remember when the financial transparency was an issue in the union and Richard Wake was calling me out, DLC President 767 Richard Wake, we had this beautiful conversation Wednesday night? Remember that? He said plenty of opportunity to come on Zoom. Everybody has plenty of opportunity to come on Zoom. Oh, can we audit to see where the $1 million donation was actually used correctly? Oh, boy. No, you can't see the audit on that. You know why you can't see the audit on that $1 million that we gave to SIU State Council to ensure that this governor stayed in office? Because they control their books. Oh, you want me and Annika and Irene to put the pressure on them to show us how they spent the money? Because we're officers on the board? Is that what you're saying? Huh? Is that what you're saying? Well, I mean, we do sit on the board at SEIU State Council. They get their $55,000 every month. If that's what you're saying, and you send me an email, I guess I'll, I guess we'll have no choice. We'll have to find out if they spent that money correctly. But again, it's subjective. So when I spent the money on the last rally to protect our jobs, enforcing our contract, people said, well, that $51,500, that's too much money, Richard. The CalPERS election, total cost, $55,526. That's too much money, Richard. Well, that's subjective. So even if we did the audit with SEIU State Council, they'd say, hey, we did the right thing. We protected Governor Gavin Newsom. He won in a landslide in his re-election. He's still here. He is labor friendly. He has our back. And we couldn't take a chance on electing no one else. In some people's eyes, that's the right thing to do. Other people's eyes, not so much. So, but you know, all this financial stuff and all this money we spent, that $360,000 on that election, we're going back to Commerce Printing, and they could have did it for a fraction of a cost. See, it's fascinating to me. It's truly fascinating. We spent $360,000 for no reason at all, because the election committee and the person who ran the elections, who coordinated with the vendors, Paul Koch, didn't do his job. Huh? He didn't do his job. I mean, maybe he did his job. Maybe he was doing what he was told to do. I guess that, you know, it could be that possibly the apparent outlook was that he had worked for the union for all of these years. And that, you know, possibly, I don't know, I don't have all the answers, that maybe he chose commerce over conscience. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that's your line. That's a heck of a line, Kareem. Maybe he filed. He did that. He chose commerce over conscience. Maybe. But it appears to me that when Paul Koch retired from the state of California, California Transparency, you can look it up, 2009, he's been heavily involved in our union elections. I don't know how he got involved. But we do have an audit trail of all the money we paid him. So, we're doing all this financial inspection, and they're looking through all these numbers, and they're writing all this stuff down. And all you have to do is talk to me, and they'll see how easy I work with them. All this is going to bring out everything. All this is going to bring out everything on a lot of people. Ooh. Huh. Huh. Some people say, well, that sounds like an emergency to me. I bet it does. I bet it does. Oh, so with this financial transparency, we're having an SBAC, December 11th and 12th. Yay! And then we're having our scheduled board meeting in December, December 18th and 19th. I think the policy file says we have to have, was it 25 a year? No, I'm teasing. I think it's three a year. I'm not good with numbers, so I may be wrong. So our scheduled board meeting is the 18th and 19th. So when they go on Facebook and say, he's not having our meetings and he's trying to destroy our union. Oh, no. That's back where we elect our bunk team for negotiating a super contract, our next contract, along with the bunk team and the bunk chairs. This is really important. And then the next week, we'll have our scheduled board meeting. I think the human rights committees will have a major role because they do a lot of important work. In fact, DOC President 794, Francina Stevenson, she's on the Human Rights Committee. She's the chair of the Native American Committee. So a lot of things are going to happen here in the next few months. And here's it's funny because people are tuned in, but it's not just people represented by Local 1000. Remember our purpose statement? All Californians? Well, a lot of people across America is tuned in. They've never seen anybody like me before. They said, how'd that guy win? I keep telling people change wasn't enough. We got to create. And, when you go by the numbers, it's funny because you can look at numbers in different ways. And, a lot of people, the smart people go to stats class. And they learn all the different formulas. But the one thing they never learn is anybody can take numbers and bend and twist them. How do I know? Look on TV at Washington, D.C., the federal government. You can present numbers in different ways. So what's a good number for me may be a bad number for you. Yeah. So, and then it raises the great question. What drives what? Do people drive numbers or do numbers drive people? Oh, so I see that Miller and Pacheco just won the CalPERS election. And your endorsed candidates lost. So let me educate you, Denise Quinn Allen. I didn't endorse them. I said, this is who I was voting for, but it was up to you to make sure you voted. So then again, you have failed to tell the truth, Denise Quinn Allen. But then again, it's okay, Denise, because we all heard you a few weeks ago, what you said about me on Facebook when I was doing my Wednesday night Zoom meeting. But I still love and respect you. It's okay. I know you didn't think you was going to be hurt saying those evil things about me. Some people say, well, it wasn't really evil, Richard. It just appeared that she was mad at you or whatever. Well, fair enough. But we all heard what she said about me. I just kind of wonder what she said about me. If I had said that about her, would I have been given that same respect? But see, you already know in this country, I would not have been given that same respect. You already know this. So congratulations to David Miller and Jose Pacheco. I don't hate, listen to this. I don't hate on anybody for winning an election. How can I hate on David Miller and Jose Pacheco if I'm not hating on myself? But then again, some people are hating that I won the election. Just saying. But anyway, what drives numbers? Do people drive numbers? Or do the numbers drive the people? What came first? You say we all, you evolved from some type of ape or something from Africa. An ape from Africa. Okay, yeah, I got you. So if we evolved from this animal, then we came first and then the numbers came later? Or you don't know? You're confused. Oh, you can't have that kind of conversation? You're not equipped to have that type of conversation? Okay, I got you. So when the numbers justify, oh, we gotta get everybody vaccinated, because if we don't get everybody vaccinated, the world's gonna go downhill. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? The numbers say it. The numbers said I won the election. Well, you didn't really win the election. You just lucked out. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. So when the numbers say get vaccinated, we gotta rush to get vaccinated. But when the numbers say Richard Lewis Brown, mama's black boy, won the election, oh, no. Those numbers are wrong. You know who you sound like? Heck, you sound like a politician. That's who you sound like. I'm not going to say an attorney, because I love me some attorneys. Oh, yes, I do. Especially the ones that smile at me. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So this is the fascinating thing about these numbers they're looking at. They're going to get these numbers. They're going to add them up. I've told you the numbers already. And then they're going to make an analysis and give you their opinion. Trust me, their opinions will be on Facebook. I know this. Here's the funny thing. What if one of the DLC presidents decide, we're going to talk about this live, Richard, on Facebook with you. Your numbers versus our numbers. And then we got to go all the way back in the past. What happens then? Now, the perception of unions, and this is before I got here, the perception, I didn't say the reality. Listen to my words carefully. I said the perception of unions in America is that we're corrupt. Now, some people say that our U.S. government is corrupt. The perception. The perception. And I'm giving you total transparency. Either the perception is going to be proved correct, or maybe half correct, or incorrect. Funny thing about it, the perception that unions across America are corrupt. Okay. Now, I'm straight labor. You say, well, that's just a perception. That's not true, Richard. Really? So that perception that unions are not corrupt, that they're not doing things, on the up and up, that's not correct? Okay. There's a perception out here that I don't know what I'm doing. So the perception that the unions are not corrupt, you say, absolutely, our union's not corrupt. Local 1000, we're not corrupt. We do everything the right way. And I would say, okay, we're going to find out. But the perception that I don't know what I'm doing and that I'm not working with the board, that perception you believe. So you pick and choose what perceptions you believe and what perceptions you don't believe in. You know what I see coming? Possibly, maybe. When I've interacted with police when they've stopped me, that's before all this Black Lives Matter stuff started. That's a political movement. I know how to survive a police stop. I don't need anyone to tell me how. And, my mother's dear friend years ago, she used to tell me something. Tickled me to death. She said, I'd rather be tried by 12 than done in by 6. And so what that means is, sometimes you have to hold your peace and possibly, maybe take your case to court. When things get really subjective over numbers and stuff, then a lot of people get involved. And so sometimes, quote, the board or the jury or whatever, a group of people will make a decision. And after today, a lot of things are going to happen. They say that words and actions matter. That's what they say. And sometimes in this country, some people are given latitude with words and actions and other people are not. Is that a perception? Is that reality? It's funny how the justice system by the numbers tells us that certain people have a greater chance to go to jail than others. Funny, huh? It's funny. Oftentimes people reject those numbers, but accept other numbers that benefit their opinions, their confirmation bias. When this is wrapped up, today, over these questions that they've asked about, and it's basically about CalPERS, the election, and the Lassen, and about union leave for people, and about Tony Owens. A lot of people are going to have perceptions, even though we have factual information. But you can take factual information and perceive it differently. But the one thing that's clear-cut, Local 1000 is creating a new culture. And anytime you create something, man, it's going to be tough. And you have to be steadfast and relentless and determined. See, I was told after 2015 when I lost the election, give up, go home. When I lost in 2018, give up, go home. Why'd you run again? And the same people who are demanding financial transparency, who told me to give up and go home, go back to Missouri. Those same people, I think they're the same people. I'm not for sure.
After that, because I did.
I would say a percentage of those same people voted for President Biden.
Okay.
But yet people fail to remember he ran twice before and failed. But his faith, not his rational thinking, his faith kept him going. So, guess what, y'all? I done talked so much, I done wore my phone out. Knew I should have brought that charger and kept my phone on charge. All right. So, what I may do is I may stop this. I may go get my charger. I'm going to charge my phone back up. I'm going to run it and get back on. I ain't done. All right. So today is October 1st, 2021. I'm Richard Lewis Brown, your Local 1000 president. Today's about financial transparency. We have two DLC presidents here observing, looking through documents that were prepared for them off the questions they asked concerning CalPERS. And some other questions regarding union leave and Tony Owens and our payments to SEIU International and SEIU State Council. They're making notes. I have their answers. They can just ask me. They're making notes. And hopefully they'll get the information they're looking for. And this is the first time in Local 1000 history you've seen this type of transparency. All right. Thank you very much.